Hey, what's up? One Piece Chapter 1100 has officially dropped, and this time it's titled Thank You Bonnie. So without further ado, let's get right to it. But before we jump into the chapter, you know we've got that reader request action on the cover page. Picture this, Usopp's eyeing Sanji, who's in the zone chopping up some veggies. And you won't believe what's going on in Usopp's mind. He's flashing back to Ninjin, Pimin, and Tamangi while staring at those greens. Talk about a trip down memory lane. And can we take a moment to appreciate the fact that we've got Usopp and Sanji on the cover? It's been a hot minute since we've seen our Straw Hats grace the pages like this. But hold on, brace yourselves for a wild prediction. We might be in for some egghead action in the next couple of chapters, especially after we get the lowdown on Kuma's backstory. The hype train doesn't stop, and we're diving straight into the action where the last chapter left off. So, picture this, Kizaru, the speedster himself, paying a visit to Vegapunk's lab. You know it's about to get crazy when the Lightspeed Marine is in the mix. And guess what? Some Sly Marines, including our boy Drake, are tailing Kizaru, trying to catch a piece of that top-secret action. Now, here's the juicy deeds. Vegapunk just set up shop in this new lab post the Punk Hazard accident. Yeah, you remember that chaos. And get this, he's clueless about some sneaky spy den mushy lurking around in his lab. Like, Vegapunk, bro, you might want to do a sweep for bugs next time. Kizaru rolls up to Vegapunk's lab with none other than Saturn's den mushy. And you know it's about to go down. Saturn's got the lowdown. He knows Vegapunk's been playing the pirate negotiation game on the sly. But hold on, it gets crazier. Saturn, the big shot, is willing to let this shady deal slide because he's got plans. And those plans involve our man Kuma becoming the ultimate clone host. Clone City, here we come. But, of course, there's always a catch. Saturn lays down not one, not two, but three conditions for this deal to go through. Condition number 1. Kuma's gotta step up to the plate as a Shichibukai, filling in the shoes of some mystery Shichibukai who got wrecked by Ace just days ago. Talk about a power move. But that's not all. Condition number 2. Kuma's not just your ordinary Shichibukai. Oh no, he's about to go full-on cyborg mode. We're talking surgery, upgrades, the whole 9 yards. The dude's about to become a walking weapon of mass destruction. Now, here's the kicker. Condition number 3. And it's a doozy. Once the surgery's done, Kuma's mind gets wiped clean. Total memory reset. Vegapunk's losing it because, let's face it, wiping a cyborg's mind is basically like offing a person. But Saturn's playing hardball, laying it down without a hint of hesitation. So, Saturn's throwing some serious shade at Vegapunk, dropping the truth bomb that the marine scientist isn't exactly in a position to argue. Shots fired, right. But here's where it gets emotional. Kuma's shedding tears of joy. Why, you ask? Because he's finally getting the chance to save Bonnie. And you know that's hitting us right in the feels. Now, let's talk timelines. Vegapunk spills the beans that Bonnie's surgery is gonna take a solid 6 months. And after that, she's on lockdown for a whole year before she can step outside. But that's not the end of it. Brace yourselves. Kuma's surgery is a whopping 2 years. The dude's in for the long haul. But you can see the determination in those cybernetic eyes. Check this out. Bonnie's getting her shot at a cure, but there's a catch. Saturn's calling her the H word. Yup, hostage. The deal is, if she gets cured in those intense 6 months, she's going straight into world government custody for a whole year. And why, you ask? Because there's a sneaky suspicion that our boy Kuma might pull a disappearing act with her. Now, get this. The world government's got a master plan. After Vegapunk erases Kuma's mind, they'll release Bonnie. But to make sure there's no Bonnie and Clyde situation going on, Kuma and Bonnie are slapped with the ultimate heartbreaker. They can never meet again after her 6-month treatment. Talk about tearing at the heartstrings. The drama's at an all-time high, and we're here for it. What are your thoughts on this crazy twist? So, Kuma is on board with Saturn's conditions. But he's got a counteroffer up his sleeve. Get this, he wants Bonnie shipped off to Sorbet Kingdom after her 6-month treatment. Why? To keep her blissfully unaware of the nitty-gritty details of this deal. And guess what? Saturn's on board with it. As long as they're under the ever-watchful eyes of the world government, it doesn't matter where they are. Secrets and shadows, right. Moving on to the next detail. Picture this, a montage of Kuma, Bonnie, Vegapunk, and even Sentomaru spending the next 6 months growing closer, and it's hitting us right in the feels. They're not just allies, they've become a family. We get glimpses of them hanging out, sharing laughs, and bonding over the craziest experiences. And guess who's crashing the party? Kizaru himself. The man, the myth, the speedster is joining in on the fun. Pizza parties, dancing, and, get this, they're even doing the Ninka dance. Kizaru's showing off some moves, and the crew's living it up. Who knew the Marines had such rhythm? But it's not all fun and games. We get an inside look at Kuma and Bonnie's surgeries, with Vegapunk taking charge, changing shoulders, tweaking circuits. It's a technological masterpiece. The bond between these characters is growing, and we're here for every moment of it. How are you feeling about this unexpected turn of events? Drop your reactions in the comments. So, after 6 months of anticipation, Bonnie's surgery is finally done. But there's a twist. She's back in Sorbet Kingdom, where she's welcomed by Kanai and the gang. And get this, Kanai's rocking a white hat, just like the one Bonnie wore back at Sabayati. Talk about a heartwarming reunion. But hold on to your hats, because here's where it gets intriguing. Bonnie's staying in a church for another year under the care of a medical team. Sounds innocent, right? Well, think again. The medical team, as it turns out, are all government agents, led by a mysterious CP8 agent named Alpha, who's not your typical nurse. She's a downright sexy nurse with a side of espionage. After 6 months of bonding, Kuma has to say his goodbyes to Bonnie with some heavy last words. Thank you for being born, Bonnie. Cue the waterworks, right? But here's the kicker. Bonnie, unaware of the truth, just laughs, thinking it's a typical farewell. Kuma, on the other hand, sets sail to fulfill his duty as the new Shichibukai, leaving behind a trail of mixed emotions. The feels are real, my brothers. And then, we get a montage of all the former Shichibukai's reactions to the news. Alvida, Kobe, Dragon, Sabo, Koala, everyone's in the mix, and you won't believe the range of expressions. It's a symphony of shock, disbelief, and maybe a hint of concern from the Dragon crew. Now, first off, we've got Doflamingo, always with that sinister laugh, stirring the pot about Kuma being the tyrant. Classic Doflamingo move. And Miss All Sunday throws the question to Crocodile about his interest in Kuma's new gig, but Crocodile, ever the mysterious one, seems indifferent. Now, over in Whitebeard's ship, Ace and Jinbe are sharing the news. Ace is pumped about a successor being chosen, and Jinbe reflects on the changing tides in the pirate world, noting the presence of both former and current kings among them. Cut to Alvida, who's itching for a showdown with someone close in size to Whitebeard. Kobe, ever the charmer, assures her she's the powerhouse. Hancock, as regal as ever, declares her disinterest in the whole affair, but Gloriosa encourages her to stay informed. Meanwhile, Moria's cackling about the mystery of a paw human. And Dragon, well, he's as enigmatic as ever. And, of course, the ever-cool Mihawk is caught up reading the newspaper about Kuma's latest exploits. As the world reacts to Kuma's new role, we get a glimpse of him in a more personal moment. Kuma, the once feared tyrant, is sitting down, penning a heartfelt letter to Bonnie. In it, he talks about exploring countless islands, the very same islands they dreamed of visiting together someday in the future. Cue the waterworks, right? It's a touching moment. And you can't help but feel the connection between these characters, even across the vast seas that now separate them. In the last page, we're thrown into a blast from the past. A teenage Luffy is seen hauling it through a forest, being chased by none other than a tiger. Classic Luffy, right? The kid's laughter echoes through the trees as he's having the time of his life. And just when you think the chapter's about to end on this playful note, we're hit with a jaw-dropper. The final panel reveals Kuma's ship arriving at Fuchsia Village, the very place where Luffy's adventure began. The symbolism is strong. As the ship docks, Kuma gets a den mushy call from a mysterious government agent, dropping a bombshell about an order. What could it be? The intrigue is real. And with that, the chapter closes with the promise of more excitement to come. No break next week. So, that's it for One Piece Chapter 11. I hope you all liked this video. If you've made it till the end, please subscribe to the channel, and hit that like button, and smash that notification bell, so that you never miss out on any of the One Piece content. See you in the next video. You're watching Big News Morgans. Signing off. Peace.